Right now, while you're watching this video, your kidneys are filtering your blood. About 1 liter of blood passes through them every minute. In a single day, they process nearly 200 liters of fluid, separating toxins, salts, waste products, and everything extra that the body wants to remove. It is the most underrated job in your body, and here's the problem. Modern life puts a kind of pressure on the kidneys that nature simply never intended. Processed food, excess salt, sugar, alcohol, dehydration, antibiotics, painkillers, all of this settles in the kidneys and gradually reduces their ability to filter. Kidneys do not hurt. They have almost no pain receptors. That means one thing: you can go for years without noticing that they are overloaded. Until swelling appears, until blood pressure rises, until problems begin that you never expected. But there is good news. Nature created foods that literally flush the kidneys from the inside. They dissolve sediment, reduce inflammation, restore filtering cells, and bring the kidneys back to the power they were meant to have. 6 foods, available in any store, and they work. This is not folklore. This is biochemistry, supported by research. Watch until the end, because the 6th food will surprise you the most. Everyone has it in their kitchen, and almost nobody uses it correctly. Let's begin. What happens when the kidneys are overloaded? Imagine a filter in a coffee machine that has never been cleaned. At first, the coffee still passes through, but more slowly. Then the taste changes. Then the machine starts malfunctioning, and then it stops working altogether. That is exactly what happens to the kidneys of most modern people, only in slow motion, stretched out over years. And the most dangerous part of this process is that it is completely painless. The kidneys can lose up to 70% of their function before a person starts to feel anything. 70%. That is not an exaggeration. It is a medical fact. That is why chronic kidney disease is often discovered by accident during a routine blood or urine test. But the body still sends signals. We are just used to ignoring them. Constant fatigue for no reason. That is not always stress or lack of sleep. It may be a sign that the kidneys are no longer handling the removal of waste products, and the blood is literally poisoning the body from within. Puffiness in the face in the morning, swollen eyelids, heaviness in the legs by evening, that is retained fluid the overloaded kidneys can no longer remove. High blood pressure that does not respond well to correction. In half of cases, it is connected specifically to the kidneys, because the kidneys regulate blood volume and sodium levels. When they work poorly, pressure rises automatically. Frequent urinary tract infections, burning, cloudy urine with a sharp smell. All of these are signs that the kidneys have accumulated enough toxins to create an environment where bacteria can multiply. Now let's talk about a connection that almost nobody notices. Overloaded kidneys directly affect weight. When the kidneys cannot remove fluid properly, the body starts retaining water in the tissues. That is not fat, but it is real kilograms on the scale and real centimeters on the waist. People fight excess weight for years without realizing that the problem is not calories, but that the kidneys simply are not removing what they are supposed to remove. There is another mechanism that is rarely discussed. Overloaded kidneys disrupt the balance of electrolytes: potassium, sodium, magnesium. This imbalance triggers constant cravings for salty and processed food. A person eats more salt, the kidneys become even more overloaded, and the cycle closes. And all this time, the person thinks they simply have no willpower. But the problem is not willpower. The problem is that the body's cleansing system is overloaded and working at half strength. The good news is that the kidneys have an amazing ability to recover. They respond quickly. With the right support, improvements can become noticeable in just a few days. Not weeks, not months, days. And this is exactly where the 6 foods I'm about to show you come into play. The first food on our list is something most people think of as just a summer treat: watermelon. And if you think it is just water and sugar, you are seriously underestimating what happens inside your body every time you eat it. Let's start with the obvious. Watermelon is 92% water. But this is not ordinary water. It is structured fluid, nascent electrolytes, and bioactive compounds. When it passes through the kidneys, it literally flushes the kidney tubules from the inside, washing out sediment, microcrystals of salts, and toxins that may have been accumulating there for months. This is a gentle but very effective mechanical cleansing, like flushing a pipeline with a large stream of clean water. But that is only the surface effect. The true power of watermelon goes deeper. Watermelon contains citrulline, an amino acid that is converted in the body into arginine. Arginine stimulates the production of nitric oxide, a compound that widens blood vessels and increases blood flow in the kidneys. When blood flow in the kidneys increases, the glomerular filtration rate rises. That means the kidneys begin filtering the blood faster and more efficiently. More filtration, more toxins go out. Now, about potassium. Watermelon is rich in potassium, a mineral that directly regulates sodium balance in the body. Excess sodium is the main reason for fluid retention and swelling. The potassium in watermelon neutralizes this excess and helps the kidneys remove extra water from the tissues. Swelling in the face in the morning, heaviness in the legs by evening, all of that is sodium the body cannot get rid of. Watermelon solves this problem gently and naturally. But there is another component people talk about much less, and it is exactly what makes watermelon truly unique for kidney health: lycopene. It is a powerful antioxidant that gives watermelon its red color. In the kidneys, lycopene acts like a shield. It neutralizes free radicals that damage filtering cells. Chronic inflammation and oxidative stress are the main mechanisms behind the destruction of kidney tissue. Lycopene blocks both processes at the same time. Studies show that regular consumption of lycopene-rich foods lowers markers of inflammation in the kidneys and slows the progression of chronic kidney disease in people who already have kidney problems. This is not just a refreshing fruit, it is natural medicine for the kidneys. How should you use it? 2 or 3 large slices of fresh watermelon in the morning on an empty stomach. This is the best way to start kidney cleansing at the beginning of the day. You can also make fresh juice without added sugar. 1 glass of watermelon juice in the morning enhances the diuretic effect and speeds up toxin removal. One important point: eat watermelon separately from other food. Because of its high water content, it passes through the stomach very quickly. If you mix it with heavy food, fermentation begins, and instead of benefits, you get bloating and discomfort. And here is another tip that very few people know. The white part of the watermelon, the flesh between the red part and the green rind, contains 3 times more citrulline than the red flesh. Most people throw it away. Don't. That is the part that gives the maximum effect for the kidneys. Watermelon flushes, watermelon filters, watermelon restores. But the second food works in a completely different way. It does not flush, it breaks things apart. It literally destroys what has already settled in your kidneys and turned into stones. Many people think of the second food as just a side ingredient. Pale, watery, with no strong flavor, celery rarely excites anyone. People put it in soup, sometimes in salads, and almost never take it seriously. And yet, traditional medicine used it for treating the kidneys for thousands of years, long before modern medicines for stones and inflammation existed. And modern science explains why. Celery contains a unique group of compounds called phthalides. These are organic substances found almost only in celery and almost nowhere else in nature. Their main effect is the relaxation of the smooth muscles of blood vessels. When the kidney vessels relax, blood flow increases, pressure in kidney tissue decreases, and filtration speeds up. That means the kidneys start working faster and removing more in the same amount of time. But phthalides are only the first level. The second component is apiin. This is a flavonoid that has both a powerful anti-inflammatory effect and a diuretic effect at the same time. Apiin suppresses inflammatory enzymes directly in kidney tissue, and at the same time increases urine production without causing loss of electrolytes. This is an extremely important point. Most diuretics, both prescription drugs and many folk remedies, increase urine output together with potassium and magnesium loss. This creates an electrolyte deficiency and puts stress on the heart. Apiin from celery works differently. It increases diuresis selectively, helping remove sodium and toxins while preserving essential minerals. Gentle, smart, without side effects. Now, to the most important part: stones. Kidney stones form when salts, most often calcium oxalate or uric acid, crystallize in the renal pelvis and build up into hard deposits. This process happens slowly and silently over years until the stone reaches a size where it begins to move. Celery contains compounds that disrupt this crystallization process. First, it alkalizes the urine. It raises urine pH. In an alkaline environment, uric acid crystals do not form. This directly helps prevent urate stones, the most common type in people with gout and high uric acid levels. Second, celery contains apiol, another unique compound that increases the elimination of urates through the urine. The faster uric acid leaves the body, the less remains available for crystallization. This is not about dissolving already existing large stones. It is about preventing new stones from forming and helping flush out fine sand and microcrystals before they have time to combine into hard deposits. There is another effect that is rarely mentioned. Celery is rich in vitamin K, and this vitamin regulates calcium metabolism in the body. When there is enough vitamin K, calcium is directed into bones and teeth instead of settling in the kidneys and blood vessels. Vitamin K deficiency is one of the underestimated risk factors for kidney stone disease. Celery helps restore this deficiency naturally. How should you use it? The most effective way is freshly squeezed celery juice. 2 or 3 stalks through a juicer give around 100 milliliters of concentrated juice. Drink it in the morning on an empty stomach or in the middle of the day between meals. If the taste is too sharp, add an apple or a cucumber. That will not reduce the effect, but it will make the taste much more pleasant. The second option is to eat fresh celery as a snack. 2 or 3 stalks a day already provide a noticeable diuretic and anti-inflammatory effect. Add it to salads, smoothies, soups. Just avoid long heat treatment. With prolonged cooking, apiin and phthalides are partly destroyed. The third and strongest option is an infusion made from celery seeds. 1 teaspoon of seeds per glass of boiling water, steep for 20 minutes, strain, drink twice a day. The seeds contain several times more active compounds than the stalks and leaves. One important warning: if you already have large diagnosed kidney stones, consult a doctor before actively using celery. Increased diuresis can trigger stone movement, and that requires medical supervision. 2 foods, and already 2 powerful kidney cleansing mechanisms: flushing and anti-inflammatory protection from watermelon, breaking down crystals and increasing filtration from celery. The third food is in everyone's kitchen. People add it to tea, water, and salads, but almost nobody knows that it literally dissolves stones from the inside and protects the kidneys at the molecular level. The third food is the simplest and the most affordable of them all: lemon. It is in every store, costs almost nothing, and most people use it only for tea or as a seasoning for fish. But what lemon does to the kidneys is one of the most studied and clinically proven natural protective mechanisms that exists in nature. And we need to begin with the main paradox. Lemon is acidic, very acidic. Its pH is about 2. You would think acid should irritate the kidneys and create an aggressive environment, but the exact opposite happens. When citric acid enters the body and goes through metabolism, it is converted into citrate, and citrate is an alkaline compound that raises urine pH. The urine becomes less acidic, and that is exactly what creates the conditions in which stones simply cannot form. This is called the urine alkalizing effect, and it completely changes the environment inside the kidneys. But citrate does something even more impressive. It binds with calcium directly in the urine, before calcium has time to combine with oxalates and form a crystal. Calcium citrate is water-soluble and leaves the body easily. Calcium oxalate is not. It hardens and becomes a stone. Simply put, citrate from lemon juice captures calcium and removes it safely before it has time to become a problem. This is not theory. This is the mechanism behind one of the most common medical protocols for kidney stone treatment: prescribing potassium citrate. Lemon juice creates the same effect naturally. Clinical studies confirm that in people who regularly drink lemon water, the rate of new stone formation is reduced by half, compared with those who do not. Not by 10%, by half. Now about vitamin C. Lemon is rich in ascorbic acid, a powerful antioxidant. In the kidneys, vitamin C neutralizes free radicals that damage the cells of the kidney tubules. It is the same protection we discussed with lycopene in watermelon, but through a different mechanism. Damage to tubular cells is the beginning of chronic kidney inflammation. Vitamin C from lemon stops this process at its earliest stage, before inflammation has time to establish itself and become chronic. There is another effect that is especially important for people with high blood pressure. Lemon contains flavonoids, especially eriodictyl and hesperidin. These compounds relax the walls of the renal arteries and improve microcirculation in kidney tissue. When blood supply to the kidneys improves, their filtering ability rises, and blood pressure, which is partly regulated by the kidneys, decreases. This creates a positive feedback loop. Better blood flow, better filtration, lower pressure, better blood flow. Lemon also contains D-limonene, an essential compound found mainly in the peel. Research shows that D-limonene may help dissolve cholesterol deposits and small crystalline formations in the kidney tubules. That is why the most advanced kidney cleansing protocols include not only the juice, but also the lemon zest. How should you use it? The classic and most effective way: 1 glass of warm water with the juice of half a lemon every morning on an empty stomach. Warm water enhances the dissolving effect of citrate and stimulates movement in the kidney tubules. Important point: use warm water, not hot. At temperatures above 60 degrees Celsius, vitamin C is destroyed, and much of the antioxidant effect is lost. The second way: add freshly squeezed lemon juice to regular water throughout the day. 1 or 2 lemons a day are enough to maintain the necessary citrate level in the urine over the course of the day. This is especially important because citrate is eliminated from the body fairly quickly, and regular replenishment throughout the day is more effective than one large morning dose. The third way: grate lemon zest and add it to salads, smoothies, and drinks. That gives you D-limonene and extra flavonoids that are not present in the juice. One warning: lemon juice is acidic and with frequent use can affect tooth enamel. Drink lemon water through a straw or rinse your mouth with clean water afterward. This is a simple step that completely solves the problem. 3 foods, 3 different levels of kidney protection. Watermelon flushes the tubules and improves filtration. Celery breaks down crystals and reduces inflammation. Lemon alkalizes the urine and captures calcium before it turns into a stone. But the fourth food works on a completely different level. It does not cleanse, and it does not flush. It protects at the cellular level, and its active compound is one of the most studied natural anti-inflammatory substances in the history of medicine. The fourth food is bright yellow. It stains everything it touches, and in the same way, it colors your kidney health too, only for the better. Turmeric. It has been used in cooking for more than 4,000 years. In Ayurvedic medicine, it is considered a universal remedy for inflammation, infections, and diseases of internal organs. Modern science spent decades trying to understand why ancient healers were so right. And here is what they found. The main active substance in turmeric is curcumin. Today, it is one of the most studied natural compounds in the world. More than 12,000 scientific studies have been published about its effects, and among all the organs curcumin protects, the kidneys hold a special place. Let's begin with inflammation. Chronic inflammation of kidney tissue is the mechanism that starts and sustains most kidney diseases. It develops silently over years, destroying filtering cells, nephrons. When nephrons die, they do not recover. The kidneys lose filtering power permanently. Curcumin blocks this process at the molecular level. It suppresses the activity of nuclear factor NF-κB, the main regulator of inflammatory reactions in the body. When NF-κB is blocked, the chain of inflammatory signals is interrupted. Pro-inflammatory cytokines stop being produced. Inflammation in kidney tissue fades. This is the same mechanism targeted by many anti-inflammatory drugs, only without side effects on the stomach and liver. But curcumin goes beyond simple anti-inflammatory action. It is also a powerful anti-fibrotic agent. Kidney fibrosis is the process in which healthy kidney tissue is replaced by scar tissue. This is the final stage of most chronic kidney diseases. Curcumin suppresses the activity of transforming growth factor beta, the main trigger of fibrosis, and literally slows down scarring of kidney tissue. Studies in patients with chronic kidney disease have shown that regular curcumin intake slows the decline in glomerular filtration rate and lowers the level of protein in the urine, one of the main markers of kidney damage. Now, let's talk about oxidative stress. The kidneys constantly work with toxins. That is their main job. And this process is accompanied by the formation of huge numbers of free radicals. If antioxidant protection cannot keep up, radicals begin damaging the cells of the kidney tubules from the inside. Curcumin activates the NRF2 protein, the main regulator of the cell's antioxidant defense. When NRF2 is activated, the cell begins producing its own antioxidant enzymes, glutathione, superoxide dismutase, catalase. This is an internal defense system that works much more powerfully than any external antioxidant. Curcumin does not simply neutralize free radicals. It makes kidney cells do that on their own, continuously. There is another effect that is especially important for people with diabetes and prediabetes. Diabetic nephropathy, kidney damage caused by high blood sugar, is the leading cause of kidney failure worldwide. High glucose literally sugars the proteins in kidney cells and destroys their structure. Curcumin lowers the level of advanced glycation end products, those same sugar-damaged proteins, and protects kidney cells from glucose toxicity. This means turmeric is especially valuable for people who monitor their blood sugar or already have insulin resistance. How should you use it? There is one critically important point most people do not know. Curcumin is poorly absorbed on its own. Its bioavailability is extremely low. Most of it passes through the digestive tract without being absorbed. But there are two simple ways to increase curcumin absorption dramatically. The first way, black pepper. Piperine, found in black pepper, increases the bioavailability of curcumin by 2,000%. Simply add a pinch of black pepper every time you use turmeric. This is not a folk myth, it is a confirmed pharmacokinetic effect. The second way, fat. Curcumin is fat-soluble. Take turmeric together with a small amount of healthy fat, coconut oil, olive oil, or avocado. This significantly increases absorption of the active substance in the intestines. Golden milk, the classic Ayurvedic drink, combines both of these principles. 1 glass of warm plant-based milk, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, and a little honey. Drink it in the evening before bed. At night, anti-inflammatory processes in the body are most active, and curcumin works with maximum efficiency. You can also add turmeric to soups, rice, vegetable dishes, and smoothies, always with black pepper and fat. The recommended amount is 1 teaspoon of turmeric per day. That is enough to maintain a therapeutic level of curcumin with regular use. 4 foods, and each attacks the problem from a new angle: flushing, crystal breakdown, alkalizing, and now deep cellular protection from inflammation and oxidative stress. The 5th food strengthens all of this and adds what was missing. It warms the kidneys from the inside, kills bacteria, and does something none of the previous foods does. It directly increases the speed of blood filtration through the kidney glomeruli, the most underrated herb for kidney health. The last product is sitting in your kitchen right now. You use it as a garnish. You chop it finely and sprinkle it on top. Or you push it aside completely because it is just greens, just parsley. That is the most expensive mistake you make every day. Parsley is one of the most powerful natural diuretics ever studied by science. In the folk medicine of the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and Latin America, it has been used for centuries specifically to treat the kidneys, bladder, and swelling. And modern studies confirm they knew exactly what they were doing. The main mechanism of parsley is suppression of the sodium-potassium pump in the kidney tubules. It sounds complicated, but the meaning is simple. The kidneys stop reabsorbing sodium back into the blood and start actively removing it through the urine. Water follows sodium. Swelling goes down. Blood pressure drops. Toxins are washed out. At the same time, like celery, parsley preserves potassium. That is what fundamentally distinguishes it from pharmacy diuretics. Parsley contains apiol and myristicin, compounds that directly stimulate the contraction of the muscles of the ureters and renal pelvis. This speeds up the removal of sand and small crystals before they have time to become stones. How should you use it? Pour 1 liter of boiling water over a bunch of fresh parsley. Let it steep for 10 minutes, strain it, and drink it throughout the day. This is the fastest way to feel the effect within just a few hours. Now, you have all 6 foods, and in the next chapter, I will show you how to combine them into one simple daily protocol. Now, you have 6 foods and an understanding of how each one works. Only one thing remains: to combine them into one simple structure that is easy to use every day. No complexity, no special equipment, and no hours of cooking. Here's your protocol. The morning begins even before breakfast. Right after waking up, drink a glass of warm water with the juice of half a lemon. This is the first and simplest action that starts the entire cleansing mechanism. Lemon citrate begins to alkalize the urine, the stomach wakes up, and the kidneys receive the first signal to start working actively. Wait 15 to 20 minutes, and only then have breakfast. While making breakfast, prepare ginger tea, 2 to 3 centimeters of fresh root. Pour over a glass of boiling water and let it steep for 10 minutes. Drink this tea through the morning, slowly, in small sips. Gingerol will begin widening the renal arterioles and improving filtration within the first 30 minutes. Add turmeric to breakfast. The easiest way is golden milk, or simply a pinch of turmeric with black pepper in any morning dish. Scrambled eggs, porridge, smoothie, it does not matter. The key is black pepper nearby and a small amount of fat. Curcumin will start anti-inflammatory protection for the entire day. Midday is the time for greens and fresh vegetables. At lunch, make sure to add fresh celery, 2 or 3 stalks as a snack or in a salad. If you have a juicer, a glass of celery juice with apple between meals will give the maximum diuretic effect. Appian will begin working within an hour after intake. You will notice it through more frequent urination. That is normal. That is the cleansing process. Do not forget water. Throughout the day, drink clean water, at least 1.5 liters. You can add lemon slices and a few slices of fresh ginger to the water. This creates a light cleansing drink that you can sip throughout the day. In the second half of the day, have watermelon as a snack, 2 or 3 large slices, separate from other foods. Remember the white part between the red flesh and the rind. That is where the maximum concentration of citrulline is. Watermelon will flush the kidney tubules and restore potassium levels after the day's activity. Evening is the time for parsley and the final anti-inflammatory strike. 1 hour before dinner, prepare parsley infusion. Pour 1 liter of hot water, not boiling water, but water around 80 degrees Celsius, over a large bunch of fresh parsley to preserve the active compounds. Let it steep for 10 minutes, then strain. Drink it slowly throughout the evening. Parsley activates nighttime diuresis and starts removing the sodium and toxins accumulated during the day. At dinner, add turmeric and black pepper again. The evening dose of curcumin is especially valuable. At night, anti-inflammatory processes in the body are most active, and curcumin works with maximum efficiency while you sleep. Before bed, 1 more glass of warm water with lemon. This closes the daily cleansing cycle. During the night, your kidneys continue their work, removing toxins, restoring cells, filtering blood, and all 6 foods you consumed during the day will support this process. Now, about how to enter the protocol. Do not start everything at once on the first day. For the first 3 days, only lemon water in the morning and ginger tea. On the 4th day, add turmeric. On the 7th, celery and watermelon. On the 10th, evening parsley infusion. The kidneys will begin actively removing toxins, and a sudden start can cause mild fatigue or headache in the first days. This is a normal detox reaction. Just give the body time to adapt. Drink water. This is the one absolute rule of the protocol. Without enough water, all the diuretic effects of these foods work in vain. Toxins simply have no way to leave the body. The first results you will notice: better urine quality, reduced swelling in the face and legs, less heaviness and bloating. Then energy will come. Then blood pressure will normalize. Then the chronic fatigue you had started to think was normal will disappear. The kidneys recover quickly when they are given the right support. 7 days of this protocol will give the first noticeable results. 21 days will build a new foundation for kidney health for years ahead. There is one final chapter left, the shortest one, but it is the one that completes the message. Start today, and your kidneys will thank you within a week. You have just learned something most people do not know their entire lives. The kidneys work silently. They do not hurt when they are tired. They do not complain when they are overloaded. They simply lose power slowly, year after year, until one day the body starts sending signals that can no longer be ignored. But now you know how to prevent that. 6 simple foods. Watermelon flushes the kidney tubules and improves filtration. Celery breaks down crystals and removes uric acid. Lemon alkalizes the urine and captures calcium before it becomes a stone. Turmeric protects kidney cells from inflammation and fibrosis. Ginger improves blood flow and destroys bacteria. Parsley flushes out sodium and toxins while you sleep. None of them is expensive. None of them requires a prescription. All of them are available right now in the nearest store or already in your kitchen. The only thing required from you is to begin. Not tomorrow, not on Monday. Tonight, a glass of warm water with lemon. Tomorrow morning, ginger tea on an empty stomach. That is all you need to start. After that, the protocol will begin building momentum on its own. Your kidneys filter your blood every minute of every day. They deserve the same care you give to everything else in your life. If this video was helpful, leave a like. That simple action helps this information reach the people who truly need it. Subscribe so you do not miss the next video. It will cover a topic just as important for your health. And share this video with someone you wish good health, because healthy kidneys are not a luxury. They are the foundation of a long and energetic life. See you in the next video.